Hello everyone, welcome to my channel all about economics. I'm Pragya and in today's video we are going to discuss about perfect competition. Before starting the topic, I request you all that if you haven't subscribed the channel, please subscribe it. Now let's come straight forward to the topic.
First, let's talk about the market. Market refers to the whole region where buyers and sellers of a commodity are in contact with each other to effect purchase and sale of the commodity. So basically, the place, the or not even the place is required. There are some sites where the purchase and sale of the commodity can happen. That is also the market, right? So this is what the market is, where the purchase and sale of the commodity can take place, and buyers and sellers of the commodity come in contact with each other. So under this there comes market structure. So market structure refers to the number and type of firms operating in the industry. So there are some factors on which we decide the market structure, like numbers of buyers and sellers, nature of the commodity, freedom of movement of firms, knowledge of market conditions, right? So on the basis of these main factors, there are some forms of market structure. So there are basically two forms of market structure. We can see in this chart that there are two forms of market structure: perfect competition and imperfect competition. And then imperfect competition is again divided into three: monopoly, monopolistic competition, oligopoly. So now in this video we are going to talk about this perfect competition. So perfect competition is a kind of forms of market structure, right? Now let's come to the topic perfect competition. Perfect competition refers to a market situation where there are very large number of buyers and sellers dealing in a homogeneous product at a price fixed by the market. So basically it is a market situation. There are very large number of buyers and sellers and which deal in a homogeneous product. What is homogeneous product? The homogeneous products are like the product are all identical in terms of size, shape, quality, color. They all are identical. They're like same product. So sellers dealing in the homogeneous product at a price fixed by the market. So basically the firms do not fix the price is fixed by the market. So this is perfect competition. Now let's talk about the example of perfect competition. So in reality, perfect competition has never existed. However, the closest example we may have is the agricultural goods like wheat, rice. These are basically the closest example we can observe in the market, which is closely related with perfect competition. There are very large number of buyers. They are dealing in homogeneous products, and the price is fixed by the market. So now let's talk about the features of perfect competition. So there are mainly 7 features of perfect competition, namely very large number of buyers and sellers, homogeneous products, freedom of entry and exit, perfect knowledge among buyers and sellers, perfect mobility of factors of production, absence of transportation cost, and absence of selling cost. Now we are going to discuss these all features in detail. So now let's first come to the first feature, very large number of buyers and sellers. Under this feature, we are actually discussing that the number of buyers and sellers are really large. So what does that mean? What does that imply? This implies that there are so large number of sellers that each seller share is insignificant in total supply. So an individual seller cannot influence the market price, and same is with the buyer, because buyer's share is also insignificant in total demand. That's why individual buyer cannot influence the market price. So under this condition, the price of the commodity is determined by the market forces of demand and supply. As a result, uniform price prevails in the market. So that is what the first feature of perfect competition, very large number of buyers and sellers. So nobody can influence the market price, and market price is fixed by the market, not any individual person, not a seller, not a buyer. Now let's come to the second feature of homogeneous product. The product offered for sale in the market are homogeneous. So the product sold is identical in all respects like size, shape, quality, color. All the firm produces 100% identical products. So they are basically readily substituted for each other. Buyer has no specific preference to buy from a particular seller only. So what does that imply? Implies that the buyers treat the products as identical and the buyers are willing to pay only the same price for the products of all the firms in the industry. It also implies that no individual firm is in a position to charge a higher price for its product. This ensures uniform price in the market. So basically this also tells that why the price is uniform in the perfect competition, because of the homogeneous products and because of the very large number of buyers and sellers also. Now let's come to the third feature of perfect competition, freedom of entry and exit. So every seller has the freedom to enter or exit the industry. There are no artificial or natural barriers for entry of new firms or exit of existing firms. So this means that there is absence of abnormal profits and abnormal losses in the long run. So this basically implies that all firms will earn only normal profit in the long run. A firm can earn abnormal profit or losses in the short run, as firms are not in a position to enter or leave the industry in the short time, right? But in long run, any abnormal profits induces new firms to enter the market. It increases the total supply and reduces the market price. This trend continues till profits are reduced to normal. Similarly, abnormal losses lead to exit of existing firms, which reduces the total supply. It leads to rise in price till the losses are wiped out. So what happens in the case of abnormal profits? When there are so much profits, the new firms are attracted and they want to enter the market. So if they come, what they do, they increase the market supply by producing more. The demand is the same. So when the market supply is produced, then there is a competition between sellers to sell their products, and therefore the price decline, and this reduces the market price to the equilibrium only, and the abnormal profits are reduced, and it comes to the normal profits. Now abnormal losses if happens, then it lead to exit of existing firms. So if there is exit of existing firms, then what happens, this reduces the total supply, which leads to rise in price. Now there is the competition among buyers to buy the product, because there is the reduced in the total supply and the demand is same, and that's why the losses are wiped out. The price again comes to the equilibrium price. So what are normal profits? It refers to the minimum profits which are needed to carry out the business. The total production cost of the firm include the normal profit. So basically normal profit is the zero profit. So that is the normal profit, that they are not making any abnormal profits or abnormal losses. What are abnormal profits? It refers to the excess of earnings over the total production cost, and losses are the shortage of earnings over the total production cost. Now let's come to the fourth feature of perfect competition, and that is perfect knowledge among buyers and sellers. So there is basically perfect knowledge in the market. All buyers and sellers are fully informed about the market price. This implies that no firm is in a position to charge a different price, and no buyer will pay a higher price. So as a result, a uniform price prevails in the market. So both buyers and sellers have perfect knowledge about the product market. Sellers also have perfect knowledge about the input market, that is each firm has an equal access to the technology and the inputs used in the production. As a result, all the firms have the uniform cost structure. Since there is uniform price and uniform cost in case of all firms, all the firms earn uniform profits. Now comes the fifth feature, perfect mobility of factors of production. So the factors of production, which are land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur, they are perfectly mobile. There is no geographical or occupational restriction on their movement. The factors are free to move in the industry in which they get the best price. So there is no restriction on the mobility of factors of production. This is what the fifth feature says. Now let's come to sixth one, absence of transportation cost. In order to ensure a uniform price in the market, it is assumed that transportation costs are zero. A producer can sell his product at any place and a buyer can buy it from the place he likes. There is no transportation cost. We are taking transportation cost as zero in perfect competition, right? Now let's come to the seventh and the last feature, the absence of selling cost. So the selling cost refers to the cost of advertisement of the product. In perfect competition, there are the same products, they are identical products, homogeneous products, so there is no selling cost because of perfect knowledge amongst buyers and sellers. So there is a perfect knowledge in the market about the price and all. So therefore, and the products are also homogeneous, so they are readily substituted with each other, so there is absence of selling cost. Now let us talk how perfect competition is different from pure competition. Look, perfect competition is used in wider sense as compared to pure competition. The competition is said to be the pure competition when there are only three conditions, that is the first three features: very large numbers of buyer and sellers, homogeneous product, and freedom of entry and exit. So perfect competition is a wider concept which also additionally have four more conditions, which were the last four: perfect knowledge among buyers and sellers, perfect mobility of factors of production, absence of transportation cost, and absence of selling cost. So we were all discussing in mainly the features that the uniform price is there, the price is fixed by the market and the firm do not fix the prices. So firm is a price taker. So now let's get some more discussion on this, that how firm is a price taker. So price taker means that an individual firm has no option but to sell at a price determined by the industry. Under perfect competition, an individual firm cannot influence the price on its own, as its share in the total market supply is negligible. So this is the diagram where we can see that the supply and demand curves are uh, intersecting each other at E, right? And there the price is fixed at P. Now this P is taken by all the firms as given. They are price takers, so they are taking P as given by the industry, and the price is determined by the market forces of demand and supply in the industry. So therefore a firm plays no role in price determination. It can affect neither the supply nor the demand. So firm is a price taker and industry is the price maker in the case of perfect competition. Each firm has to accept the price as determined by market forces of demand and supply. Price is determined at the point where market demand curve intersects market supply curve. So in figure we can see this, that the market demand curve DD and market supply curve SS intersect at point E, where OP is determined, price is determined. The price of OP is adopted by the price taker firm and firm is free to sell any quantity, OQ, OQ1, any quantity at this price. In case of perfect competition, there are very large numbers of buyers and sellers selling a homogeneous product at a price fixed by the market. Therefore, each firm is a price taker and faces a perfectly elastic demand curve. So here is the diagram of perfectly elastic demand curve of perfect competition. So we can see in this figure that output is represented along the x-axis and the price and revenue along the y-axis. Firm's demand curve is indicated by the horizontal straight line parallel to the x-axis, as each firm has to accept the price fixed by the industry. How this price is fixed and how we are taking the price, we just discussed in the previous feature. Firm is a price taker. So price is determined at OP. At OP price, the seller can sell OQ1, OQ2 or any other quantity. However, a firm is not in a position to change the price, and MR is equals to AR under perfect competition. In the perfectly competitive market, each firm is the price taker. All the firms have to accept the same price as determined by market forces of demand and supply. As a result, uniform price prevails in the market. It means revenue from each additional unit, that is MR, is equals to the price, which is AR of the product. So MR is equals to AR in the case of perfect competition. So this was for this video, and in the next video we are going to discuss about monopoly, the next form of market structure.
I hope you liked the video. If you have any doubts, please mention them in the comment section. Do subscribe the channel and you can also follow us on Instagram. The link has been provided in the description of the video. Thank you.